So you speak about the crowd and how you're so, aware of what our community needs and the crowd that you're in front of. And was that always your initiative when you started DJing?
Not at all.
Where did it turn? Yeah,
I evolved so much. It's like I said, I'm surprised at myself. I'm like, oh, I'm evolved, and I can feel it. I'm like, something has to change. Okay, I'm here now. And I started looking. I'm a researcher. I'm kind of like a nerd, and I'm like, why are people so brainwashed, and why is the community like this? Why are we so desperate and down and blah blah blah? So then I started reading about the vibrations that got changed back in the Bob Marley days from 432 to 440, and they targeted hip hop, EDM, rock. And I was like, so I started researching in that, and I started looking at the different music, and I was like, I need to start playing, better music to help. And people don't even know they're being, just like when you go to let's say a department store, and they play certain music, that music makes you want to stay in the store and shop. The casinos, they don't have windows or clocks. You don't know what time it is. I used to work in a casino. I worked at the Golden Nugget for a few years. But you don't know what you're doing other than just playing the machine or playing the slots or whatever, you know? So I just was like, we don't have any big movements in our community, no leaders like that can help us. So I was like, I have this platform where I can touch the masses without saying anything. I don't have to say anything. I can press this button, I can play this song, and people's minds will be soothed in a way that they didn't even know they needed. So I just started getting more passionate about that. And then I have daughters, so certain artists, I'm like, my daughter's not listening to that. I've always been like that. I have a 22-year-old.
So your motherly essence kind of pours in.
Yeah, it's that I'm very a nurturer,
Yeah,
I'm not. You're not gonna get nothing bad like that from me. Oh no, I'm not doing that.
And how is the relationship with your daughters?
Oh, it's amazing. My oldest, she graduated from UNLV, and then she moved to Minnesota with her dad's side, because she was like, she really wants to move to like Korea and see the world. And so she's like, let me just step out here.
Let me do one move.
Yeah, we talk all the time. She's a Gemini just like me. So she's that age now where I can talk to her about the family. I can actually tell her, like, girl, let me tell you what they doing over here. Yeah. So yeah, and then my youngest, she's in theater. So she performs and sings and does all that stuff. So she's great. She's an Aries, so she's a little fire. So I pulled both of their natal charts when they were little, so I could learn how to better assist them on their journey through life. Okay, you're a Gemini, you're a Sagittarius moon. How do I? Because I had to kind of mold myself into how they needed to be cared for, because they're different. So they're great.
You kind of understand that. You're not trying to make them one way. You're just trying to, wherever they going, you want to be that support for them and understand that you in their corner, and they feel that and they know that. Yeah, I mean, you ain't gotta say that. You exude that.
They know. I'll be like, do I need to go to Minnesota? She's like, Mom, 22. I don't care if you was 92.
And so, how were you able to just so successfully keep that relationship with them? Like, I'm sure it wasn't peaches and cream the whole ride, but overall, it's at a great A. So how was you able to do that?
I grew up in a very close-knit family. We had a lot of family functions, a lot of get-togethers. We all had to fight together. And remember, I grew up around boys. So when my boys was out here fighting boys, I had to be right there too. Like, oh my God, I don't want to fight. I'm actually feeling like a girl right now, So I just grew up in a very close, like I'm close to my aunts and my cousins. So with my kids, it was like natural. Like, I made these. I'm going to make sure I mold them into these successful citizens, whatever that looks like. So
that's what you were able to do and keep the tie with the DJ career. So when was the turning point for like when did you start like really being more disciplined with the music you play?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't even know if I have that answer. I don't know if it was a point where I said, okay, I heard this or that.
Right.
I think I just woke up one day and realized the influence that I had. Being in the community, because the radio station that I work at, it does a lot of community events. So when I'm out and people are like, you're not a boy, that's not a boy, and I'm like, oh snap,
got you.
Oh,
they knew who you were.
Yeah, so I had to start being more conscientious of what I was saying and what I was doing on the radio. And I thought, like, in a good way, like, okay, they're listening So I'm gonna make them listen to this. You're gonna get this, and you don't even know I'm helping you on your day. You don't know why you feel good today,
right?
And I don't need the credit,
right?
I just want you to feel good,
right? Because I mean, the credit goes to the whole.
We all get it,
yeah.
You know, I might see you in traffic. You're gonna have a smile on your face instead of trying to road rage me because I played a good song this morning,
right?
So yeah,
right. Okay, so you have other avenues that keep you driven in a more, firm path, meaning like. Nothing's gonna change your mind. You get what I'm saying? Like you seem like
I'm very open and I'm a sponge. I love learning. I'm not the person to be like, this is how I do it. Like I said, there are some firm no's. Not a lot, but like I'm not playing with my money.
Right.
Like I said, certain artists I'm just not gonna play. And even I'm to the point where if other artists endorse those artists or like work and do projects with them, I stop playing them.
So how are you, how do you know,
social media?
Okay. Yeah. Like you do your research on them.
I don't even
Is it
have
a song?
To. Okay. No, I really try not to chase and I try to attract. That's been like a big thing for me. No chasing, only attracting. So
definitely for the feminine energy.
Yeah, if I see a certain artist post another artist that I don't play, and not like, they was at the Grammys or whatever awards, but like they all in the backyard at a barbecue, that's the type of person you endorse, I gotta fall back from you too, homie. You guilty by association. And I'm not the person because I know we gotta move in silence. So I'm not on social media like, I'm not playing this, I'm canceling.
You keep it to your...
Just listen. If you listen to me, you'll see.
Right. Well, shedding light on it overall, like having this conversation is great because it's ignored. Like maybe someone wants to be a DJ in your path and they will need something to motivate them, something to bring them passion. And you helping the community in this way is a lot of drive. You're the DJ. Yeah, you're in your career. However, you're being driven and pushed, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe pulled rather. You're being pulled by something bigger, way bigger than you. And you being able to speak on that helps people figure out their next, you know what I'm saying? Like you have an audience, you have people looking at you. They're looking at the DJ, they're looking at the author. But not only that, there's another deeper level there that I don't know.
Now you maybe, to see.
Like that we love to see, and definitely because there's a whole nother world out there in spiritual growth where people are confused, people are misled, people are following lies, and with you having such great results and success, that was really needed for people to see and know and hear. Does that make?
Yeah, and I'm so big into the whole Black culture, so to speak. To the point where I just couldn't stick to Western religions. I couldn't. I went to my elementary school was Marcus Garvey. I was there for 8 years.
In Brooklyn?
Chicago.
We got one in Brooklyn. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Marcus Garvey.
We need one in every city.
Yeah, right. Basically.
And there was no way I could stick to those Western religions. Them people was doing this because of that book.
So you took a step out.
Yeah, I was like, when I get 18, I am out of all of this.
Okay, so now you're just not a boy DJ. Like you stand on your own, even though you have your blocks that built you there. You're still standing like, this is who I am, and these are the layers of me.
Absolutely. And I have a lot. I was a Buddhist for 12 years, and I still hold a lot of those values. I read a lot of those books and those principles. So I just learn and I incorporate what works for me. And even in the Bible, I found stuff that works.
Right, you took the valuable information. Yeah. It's just not your whole thing. Your own identity is great. It's not a lot of people that have the confidence to say that and show that and do that. And so you being able to just say that and do that speaks volume. So you're welcome. So not to make it all about spiritual growth, but we do a lot of soul healing. So have you ever done any soul healing? Are you connected with your soul with this? Give us more.
I think I would want to know a little bit more what that means. So I can say if I've done it or not.
Okay, so soul healing is just the essence of you. So we spoke about spiritual growth and how you spoke about the Godfather in that religious way and your spiritual understanding. Your soul is not your spirit.
Okay. Okay.
You get that? So like, it's not really spoke about. So most religions and spirituality, they may mention the soul and maybe speak about soul food. However, your soul is more like the essence of you, like something that's more deeper than you, and the spirit is what keeps it moving. So a great pinpoint of that. So like, if I was to give you a glass of water and I slip a cucumber in there and you drink it blindfolded, you're gonna taste that cucumber. You're going to taste the water. You're going to know you're drinking water. You're going to say, oh, there's cucumber in there. The essence of the cucumber is what you would taste. So your soul represents the cucumber. Does that make a lot more sense? So having this awareness, the water is as the spirit, you know, so it molds to the soul and it drives the soul. So although you're doing a lot of your spiritual work and spiritual movement and things like that, you're like unconsciously navigating from a soul area that maybe you don't have that much information on, but having that information helps you grow more. Because now you're getting guided. Maybe you're looking for confirmation. I see you use different tools like Buddhist, the Gemini, the Taurus. You use that chart. So those are all tools you use to understand the unseen world, right? The unseen information that we know is here. We feel it. We know it is here. So just like with you, if NotABoiDj has an essence, right? It doesn't matter what hair, what makeup, what clothes. You know what I'm saying? You still have an essence in your voice. You still have an essence in the way you do things. You still have an essence with people will be like, I know that's her. You get it? That comes from your essence. And when you think about soul healing, our soul may have been here for years. You know, there's a lot of things that people just don't know anymore because obviously a lot of information was stolen, hidden, it just disappeared. So now we're forced to kind of follow a very invisible path, you know, and just use our intelligence. Okay, this makes sense. That's fire, that burns, that's hot. Let me not touch that. You get what I'm saying? You're able to grow a bit more and go a bit deeper when you go a bit deeper within yourself. So now you may have some ideas and you have more confirmation. Like, okay, this is more of my soul. This is more for me. It has more of your name on it. Does that make sense? So when you have a clean spirit, it will help you align more. Like you seem like you really just have a lot of integrity with your work. You just, something in you pushes you to be that way and you can't explain it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So having more information, healing your soul, brings your soul up to speed, right? Because if our soul was here for years and the soul was here first and your old soul, right, there's going to be behaviors that our soul picked up that have to be addressed, right? Because we're going to run into confrontation. We're going to run into problems. That's fine. Is our behaviors to fix that problem better than it was 5 years ago, right? So that we can produce a better result, right? Because I'm sure there's somewhere else that NotABoiDj would like to go. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So in order for you to get there with yourself without having to rely, because you, as you know, we're the few, as you said. So with the few, there's a few leaders. So who's going to help me take that next step? How do I know I have to go there? When do I cut the line? Where do I draw the line? Where do I get all of my power back? You know, and then we build them these relationships, making sure that our daughters don't run into these same mistakes and they have that confirmation within themselves. Let me pass this down to her, because mama wasn't perfect. Mama was as great as she wanted to be and could be based on what's around, you know. And so being able to pass that on and pass it on without the chains. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, and that's right on brand with, I think, everything that I've always been into. So with the African spirituality, the readings. So when you have, there are certain levels, certain readings that get you deeper into the practice. And so those readings will tell you what your purpose is on earth. Like, and it'll help you to stay in alignment with your destiny. So I'm always praying to stay in alignment with my destiny. I'm always trying to do what I'm supposed to do.
Praying to who?
Praying to my ancestors, my spirit guides, the deities and orishas, and Olodumare, which is what we call God.
Okay.
So I ask all of them, everyone, when I DJ everything, please be with me, allow me to connect with these people, allow me to do what I need to do.
And why do you ask all of them?
Because I don't know who's around, who's listening, and I don't want to miss anybody. Anybody who's this thing on, anybody who's listening, please help me and make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in this moment.
And is that what you teach your children as well?
So I got into the African tradition when my oldest was about maybe 16, 17. So she was at that point like, and I had put her through the Buddhist thing. So she was like, listen, Ma, I'm really kind of not into any of this.
Don't open this door.
She's into tarot, so I've gotten her a few decks, you know, just to give her tools, pendulums, you know, if you need some advice, that type of stuff. But she ain't really, you know, my youngest, yes, she's in it and all that stuff. And I tell her, go pray to the ancestors. If she's feeling sick, go lay by the ancestors, go talk to them, and let's see what they say. Let's ask them questions. And I teach her how to talk to them and how to get the answers. But I get Reiki healing and all that stuff, energy, chakra alignment. So to make sure I'm on point, I'm as healthy and well as I can sound, all that stuff. I'm trying to make sure everything is working together so I can be what I'm supposed to be and be in this reincarnation. So I guess I would say, I work on soul healing, just all these different tools.
You do it differently.
Yeah, spiritual, I do baths and all type of stuff. I go do offerings in the ocean and all that stuff.
Okay.
So everything.
Well, it shows you that you do, well, not that exactly, but it shows you do something to keep yourself balanced. Definitely if you're taking on a role of being able to help and heal a crowd of people and being ready to, even though it may not feel like you're giving your energy, you are.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it's fun, but this is a assignment. Does that make a lot of sense?
For sure. Yeah.
And do you see this being long term?
Ooh, I don't think nothing in my life is long term. It's so funny.
Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, yeah.
I really want to start doing festivals. So my goal is to do maybe 4 a year, doing like the different equinox when the seasons change. And I want it to be more so of all the different natural tools that are out here for us to heal. Because I don't see Western doctors. I see all naturopaths, acupuncturists, all that stuff. And I want them to come to the festival and have little, you know, sessions with people so they can know. You know, I don't just have to do this, take that medicine, take that vaccine. You know, I could do this. And I want to have different music play, high vibrational music. So we'll have a DJ, we'll have flutes, and we'll have sound bath healing and all that stuff. But I want to do that like 4 times a year. And I want to retire in 5 years and really just do that for the rest of my life, I think.
Get what you mean. Like, you don't want to be doing so many small events. You just want to hit for big ones. Yeah,
because realistically, what 60-year-old is going to be lugging speakers? Not me, not this one. No, I don't think you're going to DJ like on that level. Maybe if I'm just pulling up.
Right.
But carrying all that stuff,
okay.
I'm kind of, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it is a bit of a luggage.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. You say a lot about the ancestors. How do you know the ancestor is for you?
Well, you just have to be really cognitive about what's happening around you. So if you go to your ancestors and you communicate with them, they talk to you. And the more you do it, the better you'll get. Like the first few 1,000 times I feel like it was like they're not saying anything, I don't know. And then certain things that happen, I'm like, oh, it'll remind me, like, oh, that was my grandmother's, oh, she liked this type of food, or this is a song she would sing. So my father, for instance, he committed suicide, and he wasn't allowed on the ancestor altar that I had for all of my ancestors. So I had to take him in a separate room and make his own altar. And so I would have to pray to my regular group of ancestors, my grandmother, my aunties, my grandfather, then go to him and pray and talk to him. And then I even had to elevate him. And it's basically a process of 9 days where you take a cup of water and each day you move it up with a candle and his picture. Pray and ask that he gets elevated so that he can be absolved of his wrongdoings, if you believe that that's a wrong thing. I'm not really too... I kind of feel like if you don't want to be here, you shouldn't be forced to be here. But that's something else. So it ended up coming to a point because I communicated with them where he asked to be on the altar with the rest of them. And I was like, okay. So I transitioned him to the rest of them with his mom, sister, and my other people.
Wow.
So
how was that? Your dad committed suicide? Because you say you grew up with your dad. And
yeah.
When did that event take place?
This was in, I want to say November 27, 2013. It was the day before Thanksgiving. It was like, I've had a lot of life-changing events, a lot. But that one was definitely top.
Yeah.
And I was out here. And all these things that I go through makes me have an even higher sense of urgency for things. So it was the day before Thanksgiving. No. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I was going to call him. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait and call him on Thanksgiving because I'm going to be sad because I know he was going through a divorce. And his wife would leave, go be with her family with my sister and brother, and he'd be at the house by himself. So this is a conversation I was having with my mother. Like, I don't want to call him because I'm going to be sad. My own thing. The next day, he killed himself.
Wow.
So
was
I went
it
through
violent
grief.
or was it
with a gun? Yeah. And my sister hadn't left yet, so my sister was in the other room. She was like 19 at the time with her friend.
And did he leave a note?
No. So then it was all the grief. I should have called. What if I would have called? Oh, it was rough.
Right. A lot of emotional.
Yes, honey. So
roller coasters.
Yes. Yeah. And then he's Catholic.
Oh.
Don't believe in suicide. And they feel like they can't do your services or anything. Well, my dad grew up in that church. His parents went to they're Orthodox. Girl, took a trip. I was like, Father, this has to happen. I can't take my father nowhere else to get buried. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all we know. What I'm gonna do? And so they ended up saying okay, and they and then they don't believe in cremation either. So that was a whole other thing because.
And is that more what your practice?
He shot himself in the head, so it was his body had to be burned up. It was over. So I had to talk to them. My fire had to come through. So this is what's happening. I know what you're used to and what your religion is into, but I'm telling you what has to happen. So nevertheless, they did. But the one thing that I let them have, his urn had to be buried, as opposed to us being able to take it and keep it. Because that's, of course, what you want to do. Keep your family's ashes. They was like, no, ash to ash, it got to go back in the earth. And his parents had already paid for all their plots anyway. So, yep. So his urn got buried. I was like, this is weird.
We'll give you that.
Okay, you can do it. Keep them, right?
Yeah, at that point.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. And so now that you fast forward, you said you have to move him up spiritually.
Elevated him. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you see change?
Yeah. So it was like, I'm very self-aware, huge. I hold myself accountable. If I'm in a bad situation or an undesirable situation, I'm like, what did I do to get this or deserve this? Okay, what do I need to change? I need to change something inside of me if what's happening outside of me isn't favorable.
Right.
And so I saw things happening, and now I know certain insects. When I see certain insects, I'm like, that's my dad or that's my grandma.
Get you.
But that took time. That took years. And I was asking all the questions, and my godparents was like, it's spiritual. Your journey isn't going to look like her journey or his journey. It's the complete opposite of what you learn in Christianity. Everything is the Bible. Oh, it's a book. Let me look in the Bible. There's no book necessarily to tell me to pay attention to certain things. I have to build a relationship with these ancestors to see, okay. Put certain alcohol on the ancestor altar. The candle blow up. Oh, they don't like that alcohol. Now I'm going to get my altar's on fire. You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff I had to go through and learn on my own.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's deep.
It is deep. It's beyond deep, and we won't dive too deep. However, we really appreciate the transparency because it helps us, really comprehend and understand all the layers and different avenues of spirituality that exist. And so, moving forward, how were you able to emotionally just not take it personal anymore, at the end of your grief?
I'm a huge fan of therapy. So I go to therapy now. I'm down to once every other week, but I will go to therapy in a minute. And I tell people, go to therapy. And just because it gives you tools to deal. It's not going to fix you. It's going to say, here, try this if this happens. So I would say a lot of therapy and just, I have to be kind of patient with myself because I want to be healed now. I don't want to wait.
Right.
Grief is how long? I'm over it. So I just have to be patient, give myself a lot of grace, and some Thanksgivings is great. Some Thanksgivings I'm like, okay, Dad, why you got me in this sunken place? Right. So it's still a journey.
Right.
It's not just I'm all healed, everything is awesome. It's just
never.
I can't wait to therapy next Wednesday.
Right.
I need to talk.
Right. And so with all these experiences, how has it weighed on your personal relationship life? Are you able to now have solid relationships, or do you feel like it's still a challenge?
I feel like I'm just still in that very, I don't want to say infancy stage of my spiritual growth, maybe adolescent now. And I don't know if I'm at a point where I can share myself with someone else. Just because it's not like I don't try. Things just don't work out. And I couldn't really be with anybody that's not spiritual because they won't understand why I say we should do this. And they think I might just be controlling or I want to be, no, we should just do this because it feels. And I can't explain why this feels so good to me or even you should do this. And then if you don't do this, you made a bad decision and it affects both of us. I don't like it, so it's a lot. That spiritual is so big to me. So I don't know. I'm open. I'm receptive and trying to attract whatever. I'm not like, oh my God, I just gotta have somebody.
Right.
But I'm not like, there's nobody for me.
Right.
I'm just cool. Like I date, and if it work, it work, and if it don't, it don't.
And what was your last long, solid relationship?
I've been single for about 1.5 years, and that relationship had lasted almost 2 years.
Okay.
And it was interesting because he was half Cherokee.
Okay.
So his ancestors would come to me because he wasn't spiritual. He wasn't. And I would be waking him up in the middle of the night. I got a message for you. Mm-hmm. You got to take it. You ain't got to do nothing with it, but I have to take it. I have to give it. So, yeah, I'd be like, you need an ancestor altar. You ain't going to do it. At least I'm the messenger. I told you.
Correct. And so, what was your biggest lesson from, moving forward, for your next relationship?
Ooh, that one, man, the end of that relationship was really hard for me because I just, in my head, had felt like, okay. This is probably it. It was a lot of synchronicities and, it just was, he became like my best friend. Like we was so good together. And I just was like, I don't know. I think I learned that I don't know. I really feel like that. When I don't know. Relationships, I would never be trying to give I'm not the one. Anything else, you can ask me anything else. Spiritual, food, recipes, garden, kids, women, everything. I got you. Relationships, you got to go ask somebody else. Go therapy. That's all I'm going to say. Cause I haven't figured that out.
Right. And are you just okay with either way at this point?
Yeah, I'm really cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm able to pour into me all the time now. And my kids.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter how great your relationship is. You're still taking parts of you and pouring it into somebody else. Even though if you have a whole gallon to pour, you're still going into that person and them kids. But now it's just me and my kids. So it's like, okay. And my grown is grown. So I ain't got to pour that much into her.
Right.
So it's like, I'm okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about any new business ventures that you have.
Okay, so my main focus is my DJ business, my book business, and I have a tea business.
Oh, okay.
So I launched my tea business, Supernatural Nia.
Supernatural Nia. How do you spell Nia?
Nia.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Never heard that before?
No.
It's the 5th principle in Kwanzaa.
Nia? Or Nia? Okay, give us more.
You know what Kwanzaa is?
Yeah, I know Kwanzaa. It's the opposite of Christmas.
I like it. So Nia is the 5th principle in Kwanzaa, and it means purpose.
And Kwanzaa is the 12. 7. Okay. One more time.
Yep. So Supernatural Nia. So it's basically me just saying I want to be supernatural on purpose. So that's why I try my best to, wake up. I eat fruit first thing in the morning. Now, I always say the rest of the day might just be Burger King and Popeye. It might.
She said Popeyes.
It might.
Just, I told you, girl.
It might.
That chicken.
But at least I wake up. I try to put my best foot forward. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to pray. I'm going to meditate. And I'm going to eat my fruit because I'm being healthy and natural on purpose. So during the pandemic, I was just so perplexed by everybody being scared of getting sick. I was like, we're here to live a human experience. All that is a part of it, and death too. And it's like, oh, I evaded COVID, but I got hit by a car. Like, where's the reason? So I researched so many countries that wasn't shutting down. I was going through it like, oh my gosh, Sweden. If you need to go somewhere, that's the place to go. So
add it to the list.
Listen, I'm telling you, they didn't make their people do nothing. I was like, oh, they free. We ain't free. Sweden is free. So anyway, my mom's an herbalist. So I've always been raised in there's a tea for everything. There's a tincture, put some water on it, put it on your eyes, to heal pink eye. It was just all put in the ear for ear infection. It's just always something with tea. And people they know that. My friends and family call me, oh, how do I heal this? What's good for that? And so when COVID came, I was like, not that I'm necessarily going to cure COVID or cure your ailment. I'm going to show you that you can do things that can help you.
Right. It strengthens your immune system.
So my beverages are purely recreational. They're all organic. They're all loose leaf. However, every herb has a health benefit. So it's kind of just like instead of drinking pop and juice, get some tea and start learning which teas are for which illness and which ailment. So I literally took.
I'm a tea lover too. That's why I'm like, I'm looking at that because I wish I would have known. I would have probably. Yeah, girl, I keep a tea everywhere. Be like, girl, why you just got tea? Because everyone is like a different experience. So I like to finish a box. Like not hoard them. Okay. Because otherwise, yeah. So and I'm not even a recreational tea drinker. Tea is my medicine. I have a whole apothecary at home. I make tinctures. I do all that stuff. Now, I don't sell that stuff. Okay. I just sell the recreational stuff because it even became a point of me not being able to get on Amazon because they're really strict with the wording. So I couldn't say may help or may assist or may aid. You're not going to tell me how to describe my product. I'm not saying I'm a cure cancer, but I'm saying this may help with this. And they didn't even want you to say that. So I was like, yeah, I can't work with you. Okay, Amazon, I can't work with you. There's no hard feelings. And so, I don't want to go too deep into that, but I just try to get people to just think about the things they're doing, like when you go out to eat and you eat all these different inflammatory foods, you got the burger, you got the milk, you got all this stuff, like pick one. Right. Don't do all of them at the same time. Yeah. And then definitely in between, get you a nice little tea, like soothe it up. Like it's a lot happening in there. They need a little herb. Yeah. They don't realize it. And people jump on trends, and I'm like, stop following these dietary trends. Like definitely the flat tummy, girl. That was a big one. We ain't seen no flat tummies yet. No, all these vegans, girl, but you're eating all this processed food. Yeah, processed food is terrible for you. Go and eat your steak. Go and eat the chicken, the cow, all of it. Right, because it's not as bad as it is to eat something that's processed, which is like not real food. Exactly. So your body isn't really eating it or processing it. It's just sitting around. Yeah. And everybody wants to do the fast, and we was talking about the intermittent fasting. You fast every night. Einstein, oh my gosh, if you eat at 8 at night and you go to sleep, when you wake up, when you eat 8, 9, that's 12 hours. That was fasting. Yeah. You didn't even know it, and you wasn't at work all day trying to prove that you cannot eat all day because it's trendy. I can't. If I gotta work, I gotta eat. Girl, listen, I'm eating every 2-3 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna need something. It's gonna be small, but it's gonna be something. Yeah. So you said we could find the naturalnia.com. Yep. Okay, and that's all by you. Yeah, all by me. Okay. Yeah. Well, any last words of advice that you would love to share? Advice, girl. Like your 3 like core, like this is part of NotABoiDj. Man, I have a picture that's in my bathroom, and it says, "If not now, then when?" And I think that people take time for granted. And I always say I've lived a full life. When I was younger, I would say that. Like if I died, I've lived a full life. And there's so many people who I think I motivate because they feel like, oh, I wish I could do that. And I'll be like, you can. Just do it. Yeah. Just like do it. You seem like that friend that's like, let me take care of her. Do she gives you that right word of encouragement. That's I'm the friend. My friends will come to me and cry. I'm not a crier. I'm like, okay, what can we? Okay, so you don't express your tears? Not to people. Okay, no, that's fine. No, yeah. But I have give me a minute. No, I'm a solution oriented person. Even with my kids, I'm like, okay, how can we fix this? What do you think we should do? Let's figure this out. So I always say my biggest piece of advice is just do stuff. I'm surrounded by people. And maybe it's just to motivate them, but they say, "Oh, I wish I could do that," and I'd be like, "You can. Right? You have self-imposed restrictions. That's it. We all have them. I'm scared of some stuff, I guess, but just do it because you'll never regret the things that you did. Correct. The way you regret the things you didn't do. You might regret what you did, but you definitely gonna be like, "Well, I don't know. It shoulda." Yeah. At least you know. And it adds to your testimony. Even if it didn't help you, you'll help somebody else. Like, oh yeah, I did that and I almost died. Don't do that. So you can help somebody. Yeah. So, and last but not least, one more. You gave us 2. That was great. One more. Oh man. Know yourself. I feel like there's so many distractions. There's so much, and that's the plan. That's the agenda. It's all planned. And it's so easy just to distract yourself from even knowing, like, you know more about the celebrities and all this gossip than yourself. Know yourself. That's the most important thing. So that way people won't come to you any kind of way. You don't even attract certain situations. Like when people ask me about, do you go through that? I would never. I don't attract that.
Because I know who I am. And my spirits know, don't play with me. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Sir, ma'am, listen, I'm from Chicago. I've been through fights, kicked out of school. I've been through all that. I don't have to do that again.
Yeah,
We're not replaying this lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just and if you love yourself, you would take the time too. Like, why not? You spend so much time with yourself. Why not?
Absolutely.
Pour into get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Each version that shows up, because I always change. I'm like, oh, okay, who am I going to be? Let me journal. Let me write about this, because I want to read back about that version of me in 2 weeks. Like, oh, I'm not her anymore. She was good. She was cool.
Yeah.
But now she better.
Yeah, so you great.
Great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I see your shirt unapologetically dope. That's just
always.
It speaks volume. Yeah. Well, NotABoiDj, we truly appreciate you coming. We're going to shed light one more time on Bars and Beats. Where can we find this?
You can go to our website, theviewfromvegas.com, or you can just go to Amazon.
Okay, right on Amazon, barsandbeats.com. And we have here...
No, it's theviewfromvegas.com.
Oh, theviewfromvegas.com, excuse me. And we're here with NotABoiDj. We appreciate you so much for tuning in, and thank you. My name is Amelia. Dear, if you're ever looking for a coach or a guide or someone to just speak to about so much spiritual love, don't be afraid to book you a session. We have free sessions available. Check out AmeliaOnlineAcademy.com. We have a variety of coaches, and we look forward to hearing from you.